Hey guys, welcome to this guide of how to beat the Dead Bride if you're playing as a bunny. The build that I use to beat Dead Bride is right here. I'm going to show it to you. So we're going to start with the Descendant first, okay? What you want to make sure is that you have a lot of HP and you have a lot of defense. And again, you have max shield and cold antibody equipped, and as well as polygenic antibody. Now increase HP because obviously this boss has a very strong attack whenever she is frenzied and she does her big AoE attack. Having just extra health points is going to be great. Okay, I recommend getting this up to 4. Having increased defense is obviously good because it will help you survive the attack, but if you have an increased defense you might just survive with low health. Okay, so if you can get that up to 4, that would be great. So you can obviously enhance this modules. Increase shield, again same concept as the first two. Cold antibody is very simple, but you want to make sure that you have cold antibody so you have some form of resistance in addition to having increased HP and defense and increased shield. I also run polygenic antibody here. The reason for that is that the boss actually does fire damage as well when she shoots, so you want to have something to absorb that fire. Polygenic basically works for everything, so shock, poison, fire and so on. Now I have this mod. If you don't have it, that's fine. I mean, the only reason I'm running this mod is again to give me more defense. Bunny, it doesn't really have great defense, so if you run this defense mod then it's great. It also increases the skill power by 8.1%. I also want to mention that I am using Technician here. Again, that is just to give the skill power modifier 13%, and I'll explain why in a minute. And I'm also using skill cost, so when I cast my skill it will cost me 4% less to cast it. The most important mods I recommend is 1. Increase HP, increase defense, increase shield, and cold antibody, and polygenic. This 5 is non-negotiable. You have to have this. You're gonna go into a boss battle and you will need it to survive. After that, if you have any freed up slots, because bunny have that AoE attack which we call the lightning emission, this is what I'm going to be using to add clear, which is why I am running spear and shield, which means it's skill power plus 8.1%, and I'm getting that skill power modify active by 13%. If I'm going to be using the skill for add clear, I just had some extra slots, so I just stuck on strong mentality mod, which just, you know, cost me less to cast the skill. Now unfortunately I didn't have enough space, but if I did, I would have liked to use skill extension. Now what that does, it will make skill go a bit longer. It's not absolutely necessary. Again, we're only using the skill to clear the ads. I'll show you in the video later why. And the next one I would have recommended is this one, skill insight. Again, we don't have that many ads, so we don't have to worry about it. And nimble fingers would have been nice to use if I had more space, because it will actually give me a skill cooldown reduction so I can spam my skill. But again, we don't have that many ads. We don't need those. Okay, these are the ones that I would recommend using. If you have them, stick them on. Anyway, if you get to level 40, you would realize you get this material which will give you extra mod slots on your Descendant. You can just stick it here in the module settings and it will increase your capacity up to 70, which is why I'm able to stick this enhanced mods into my build. The reason why I've chosen these weapons is pretty simple. We don't have that many sniper shots, so we only get about 7 or 8. It's good to have to, you know, shoot her. She is a very mobile boss, so she's not going to stand still, and you know, you're not going to get a perfect 9 snipes off on her that easily. But when you do, it's good because it does a hell of a lot of damage. One of the things I do recommend is to have fire property on your weapons. So what do I mean? These guns, not all of them had fire. I mean, other weapons had fire on them, so I just transferred the attributes onto these guns. So the reason why we're again choosing fire is because if you go into inspecting the boss, you'd realize that she's very weak to fire. Okay, please do not bring anything with poison or any other attacks. Okay, they're not gonna do anything. She is very much resistant to cold and she's resistant to poison, so this too just gonna be wasted talents or attributes on your gun if you did bring them in. And even your Descendant, if you have a Descendant that does fire damage like Lepic, that would be great. But bunny is quite good, and I'll show you why. You know, she's not the best Descendant to do this, but however, you can make it work. Again, bring weapons with fire damage, so I'm straying away from the topic, but just to go back into it. So I've chosen this machine gun with fire, I've chosen this scout rifle with fire, and I've chosen this sniper with fire. When it comes to the mods on the gun, the non-negotiable I would say would be rifle reinforcement. Try and get it up to 4 levels if you can. If you cannot, it's okay, get it up to 3. Fire enhancement, I will go as far as you can. I mean, I got it up to 5. I could get it up more, but I just, just, you know, wanted to save slots, because as you know, if you enhance your modules, they actually cost more to equip, which mean that you can't put additional modules. So what I'm using is, I would recommend rifling, reinforcement, fire enhancement, and sharpshooter if you have it, only because it will increase the attack and it will also give you an increase in critical hit rate. I also have a better insight mod here, which gives me a +10 critical hit rate, and I also have weak point damage. I just had extra slots to put an additional mod, so I just put this in. What that does, it just removes the recoil, so it makes my machine gun a lot more stable, and on the plus side gives me plus extra 1% of additional fire attack. So these are the mods I would recommend. However, you can put whatever you want on it, but make sure you have weak point damage. This is important. Make sure you have rifling reinforcement, and make sure you have fire enhancement. It is very important. Okay, the other mods, if you do have, it's optional. Do, you know, whatever you can to maximize your damage. That's all I have to say with regards to the mods. Again, same for the scout rifle. Okay, again, I recommend fire and rifling as a and weak point as a must, and then the others can just complement. So mine, I have pinpoint shot, so it gives me an extra firearm attack of 8%, and it gives me weak point damage. So as you can see, I'm just trying to get as much on the weak point. Again, same for target detection, gives me critical hit damage and weak point. This just gives me a reload modifier. I mean, it's a no-brainer. The faster you reload, the more you can keep DPS in, and it also gives me weak point damage. So as you can see, this is what I'm running on my guns. Again, for this, I'm running the rifling enforcement and, you know, weak point, and yeah, anything to increase that damage. So let's start with a reactor. Reason why I'm running this, I could run something better, I suppose, but the reason I'm running this is I'm getting 140% bonus for having a sniper rifle equipped. I'm running the singularity reactor because our skill on our Descendant is actually a singular skill. This is the one that we're going to use for ad clear, and you can see that we get a bonus to singular skill power boost ratio by 0.2 times. So that is what I'm running. I mean, if you have something better that you would like to run based on your guns, then go for it. Okay, but this is what I recommend on Bunny. When it comes to these components, okay, it's very simple. Just spec out in defense if you can. If you can go half and half, you can go half and half. So you can go 2 HP and 2 defense components. So you can go 2, you know, defense components and 2 HP components, right? But I just used what I have, and the reason why I'm using this too is because this is a set. If you can see, this is the Glacial set, which actually drops from killing the dead bride. So if you kill her, you'll be getting the Glacial set. What that does is, if you have 2 pieces equipped, it gives you your chill skill power modifier increases by 8.6%. So you can see I have this and this, which is a set. Okay, now that's the only reason I'm running this one. Although it has max shield, I would have preferred max defense, but anyway, I'm still running that, and it's good because you can see it gives me MP recovery in combat. It's not a whole lot, but it helps. Okay, so when it comes to auxiliary, I'm just gonna recommend again defense. I don't have anything better than this, so that's why I'm running this, and same for processor. So that's pretty much the build. Now I'm gonna let you get into the video of me defeating the boss, so you can see how we go about doing that. Another thing I would like to mention is that try and do solo. The reason being is because the matchmaking wouldn't take into account which Descendants is on your team. So sometimes it does match you up with Freya. Again, you know, she does poison damage and the boss is very resistant to that, and sometimes you end up all 4 bunnies. You know, you don't need 4 bunnies. It would be nice to have some tanks, which will give you some survivability, but yeah, defeating this boss is not that hard. The most important thing I would recommend is to keep attacking her. Do not let her don't let time pass by, basically. So she spawned in, I've got my LMG, and I'm just gonna start shooting her legs straight away. The reason why I'm shooting legs is because you know, they're just easier to hit, right? When you try to go for the shoulder pads, she just moves her hands a lot, as you can see, and she keeps walking and moving, so it's hard to hit. I'm not saying you can't, maybe you can when she's a bit stationary, but yeah. And when the ads have spawned, just put on your skill ability and just blast them away. I don't waste time shooting the ads because I want to focus on the boss. Okay, so I was just demonstrating that so you guys can have a better understanding. So again, just chip away at the boss. Most important thing is you want to get her to the frenzied state. When she gets into the frenzied state, that's when you can keep running. This is why I brought a scout rifle as well, because it just makes it a whole lot easier when she's far to kind of get some damage in. Okay, So I'm just gonna pop this right now because I see some ads there around me. And when she does this ice attack, just keep like hip firing and walking, so that way you can dodge the attacks. Do not ADS. If you ADS, she's gonna hit you with the attacks. And this is why you want to run, you want to get rid of these ads, because as you can see they do stun you and they kind of like lock you into place for 1 or 2 seconds, and it's this 1 or 2 seconds are kind of really long. It'll, you know, it'll make the boss kind of want to hit you and take off all your shields. So this boss, what you want to do is you want to make sure you take the shield off as fast as you can. Her shield is the strongest and the hardest to drop basically. Her health is not so hard to take down, but her shield is very hard to take down, so you want to make sure her shield goes down first. So at the moment we're doing okay. We're almost half. We should have been at half, but I'm gonna just gonna try and get some sniper hits if I can. She's moving a little bit too much right now. Okay, so she's in a frenzied state right now. Sorry, not a frenzied state. She's in a vulnerable state right now. So you just keep chipping away as much as you can. The other thing I forgot to mention is knowing her weak points. So before you start to attack her, okay, by the way, she's in the frenzy state at this time. We're going to use the lightning ability that we have to just speed run out of that AoE attack, okay? And she's going to follow you actively. There you go. She teleports and follows you actively. And what we do is we just use our grapple to get away. She will not stop until she's out of this state. Basically, right now you've done enough damage and she is not having it. She's like, I'm gonna murder you. So yeah, she's gonna teleport close to me again, so I'm gonna keep rotating. Here comes her AoE attack and I've made it out. That's the Speed of Light Bunny's ability that kind of helps you get out of that attack as fast as you can. She's really pissed off at this stage, so I'm just gonna keep rotating. Okay, so she's out of the frenzied state, so we're chilling now. God, I hate these ads, they're a bit really annoying. When you focus on them, they run away, and when you're not focusing, they actually creep up on you. They're super annoying, but at this stage we gotta keep DPSing because we can't afford to lose any time. It's not about being accurate right now, it's just about getting the damage in. You need to drop that shield, so just focus on that. She has this crit spot which is on her chest area that you can shoot. She has some crit spots on her knee area. There's some pads around the knee area. So again, she's doing her AoE, so I'm just gonna swap to LMG, hip fire and keep running. That way she's not gonna be able to hit me. Want to shoot that as much as you can. I think we've popped the shield off, or we've removed the part, which is good. Our shield is almost off. Okay, she's doing her AoE, but we can't waste time, we gotta keep going. Okay, I have some sniper shots, I'm just gonna reload and see if I can get some shots in. And these guys wouldn't leave me alone, so I'm gonna pop my shield. I'm gonna run around, reload my LMG, and just keep DPS in. So now she's very vulnerable. As you can see, she's on fire, her shield is down, and she's very weak to fire. This is why you want to run fire. If you don't run fire on your weapons, believe me, it's going to be very hard for you to defeat this boss. Okay, she's frenzied and she's very upset, so she's gonna teleport to me at this stage. I'm gonna use my grapple, get out of there. I'm gonna have to keep moving because she's gonna keep coming with her AoE attacks. We almost got caught in that beam, by the way. That's a freezing beam, so you don't want to get caught by her beam because it will freeze you into place. I'm gonna keep rotating and keep shooting when I have the chance to. Okay, her AoE comes and I run away and grapple away into safety. This is why Bunny is not a bad descendant to solo this thing. Okay, I got caught in that freezing beam, but it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to pop this and kind of get rid of the ads here. Okay, we got rid of the ads. We're gonna continue to chip away. We're very weak right now, so we kind of have to rotate a little bit and get our health back. I'm just gonna shoot them because I don't have my ability charged up. My god, all my guns need reloading at this stage. I'm gonna run away because I'm really low. Finally, I can breathe a little bit. Okay, AoE attacks. We're gonna have to dodge them. These icy bolts are pretty deadly. I'm gonna take this moment to reload, even though I can't afford to waste any time here. We're not doing too good on the health right now, but we need to... Unfortunately, I'm too far to get any good damage there, but I have some sniper shots which I'm gonna count on, so I'm gonna try and do that, try and take her down as quickly as I can for 40 seconds. No, and we went down, unfortunately. That was almost a perfect run too. Wow, we had literally like 15 seconds left and we got her down. So there you have it, guys. That's pretty much how you defeat her. Now, I've basically been playing and explaining this video, so you know, I was a little bit distracted, but if you guys just focus on DPS, you should be able to kill her with at least 2 minutes to spare. But yeah, that's it. If you learned something and you like this video, please don't forget to like and leave a subscribe. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next Descendant video. Take care now. Bye.